Introduction. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys, if you want to support this tour I'm on after I'm done, you could maybe save my marriage. No pressure. So, just some context. I found out that the person who now owns this restaurant also owns a restaurant across the street and a catering place above, which is sweet. But my sweet wife, who manages me, asked if I could get a piece of pizza, and they had to call someone, and they debated it for a long time. I'm broke, man. My wife drove from Ohio to get to Oklahoma for our shows here. I don't know if you know geography, I didn't when I booked the show. That's a long distance. Passing out of Ohio to get almost into Indiana, an owl flew into and shattered our windshield. That cost $200 to fix that we don't have. We borrowed that money. We had -$4 at that point when that happened. So anyway, I'll read you some poems. Cool. I got a couple books. They're not all fancy like some people. But I'll just read the intro from this. This is Cinder, it's fiction. Cinder. For Millie. We may want a control group, someone to provide perspective. I can't recall ever having one. Every picture looked cheap on the high definition television. What does it matter?
Oh, pardon me.
Things found, things lost, making lists to remember what to do, what not to do, remember what happened. How we wish it had gone down. Eventually you stop having to prove yourself again every day. If you're lucky. Time was eating, sleeping, fucking, spending money, the days pass. A good story gets repeated. Watching a popular British actor fabricate his legend, listening to myths retold. What the fuck do we keep counting? Entire lives organized around a ledger. Or an image, ink, binary code, and columns of figures. Some people change the world. That's just the intro, whatever. Okay, cool. So here's a poem. This is a poem, I had to find this online because I really needed it. Some people find it inspiring. No promises. It's dedicated to August Wilson. And it's named after a poem that he wrote. Well, he called it a short story, and he said that I don't know if you know who August Wilson is. He died. You could look up his shit, he's amazing. But anyway, he said that all of his stories basically were retellings of his first story that he told. And that was this. The world was Balboa's own personal ocean. And Balboa was drowning, for August Wilson. Used to wash his hands till they bled, as though to clean away the day's pollution and find ancestry within. Evenings found standing by open windows, clothed in stethoscope and ink, searching self in the night, waiting for a call of August to imply home. He lit a quiet match over the sink, heard death song of flame, resurrection of water and earth, proof the elements might coincide again. He'd searchlight for beauty, took to duct taping his eyelids around 8 o'clock. They'll find me, he'd whisper. If you were interested, he'd tell of birthlight and candle fire. Grip a kitchen knife in your fist, consider the blade, how flame can heal the way love is sharp. Remained silent for days, insisted this too may be conversation. He would touch himself and meditate. I never saw him sleep. He was a messenger, cradled stories in hand like dying kittens suckling the earlobe of a stranger. Come to me in the green-gray hours, walk the night as though truth were fragile and deserving of respect. One night spoke hours to a caterpillar. You are loved and beautiful. I have seen you naked, strong, winged, and holy in the embrace of an archangel. Have heard you sing truth back into conversation. You have walked in darkness overlong, clothed in silken light. You will rise. Knowledge hums inside you, seeking food. Do not fear to break. Consider the phoenix. Consider Iwos. Cruelty is fragile. If no one holds you, hold yourself. If no one holds you, hold yourself. If no one holds you, hanged himself from the Statue of Liberty, drowned in the fountain of youth, stabbed himself with a kitchen knife, slit his wrists with his tongue. He is searching for evidence of our existence, for a reason to believe we are all gods and afraid. Kindness our only virtue. We are stronger than we know. I want to say one of those lines was not written by me, it was written by White Mike. He said, I think he said slit his wrists with his tongue. White Mike is a Toronto poet. This poem is called Motherfucker Number 2. It's a response to Motherfucker Number 1 by Caitlin Meisner, who I know is Mama. Blame your children. Blame Laura Bush. Blame Walmart. I wrote it a little while ago. 9 gunshot wounds spilling spotlight across the flesh of Curtis Jackson. Torn asshole, blood, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, human immunodeficiency virus, the gays, the faggots. Blame fucking zombies. Or the fact your father left. This is why you cannot sleep. Why your mirrors hold a coward, why you cannot face him. Your daughter scowls as though swallowing a cavern, decay of her youth, sunken into the girl's face. She is trying to become her mother, so you will bruise her instead. You know only one way to love a woman. So she listens at the door while you attempt to clean away your failure and regret. She has cataloged the minutes till the two of you can be alone again. She is frightened that you do not love her. Studies the pornography of a street corner to become the women you are looking for. She stands in shadow of your hallway as you sleep. She listens to you dream and breathe. Catalogs the geometry of a woman's touch and fears to leave a footprint if it will not please you. You are afraid. Scared some man will kiss her as cruelly as you know how, will plant acquiescence in her belly. You have done this before, so you know that it is easy. She draws a frown across her youth to hide the pain of silence. She is preparing to live backstage. It is not your fault. Blame her mother, her mother's mother, her woman teachers, her womb. Blame the men who have not her yet. Blame television, billboards, radio. Blame terrorism, cell phones, sex. The womb that birthed a girl into this world, this wrong, cruel world in which she should have been a boy. No. Blame your seed. It is about you. It has always been about your dick. You simply weren't man enough. Please take this time, the next 50 years, take this space, the earth, as you have learned to do. Take our lives and speak in your own defense as though the world has not already heard enough of you. This next poem is called Adolph's Nightmare. No, we don't have time. A lot of people ask about my eye. They say, what's wrong with your eye? My third eye sees Hitler's nightmares. Wake up. Walk outside. We call them hippies because they're fucking on your front lawn. Step over her rainbow knit scarf, ankle deep in dew. Reach within, grasp one rib between fingers and palm. Remove slowly. You will not need this piece of you. Do not discard it. All things are useful somewhere. We have built a house of bone and blood. Bring your rib, bare, exhausted. You have worked all your life, caring for all that is greater than yourself. You have wept, faithful as a monk in flames, because your best may not be enough. Because the hollow in your mattress, shaped like peaceful, holds you silent in the echo of Becca, stolen from herself in her own bed. Are you awake? And angry on the far side of your ego? Did she make a sound? Wrong.